Hey YouTube, this is Team Eagle Factors video editing Scrublord Fahukwa God 7 with a Dinosaur deck profile that nobody asked for except me. I'm speaking to you through a text-to-speech app because your Captain Sin Dragon Lord was busy pretending he didn't mourn the loss of Union Carrier as I recorded the footage. Actually, I prefer this video format because I can put my thoughts together better this way, but shut up. Anyway, let's get to the deck. It's a deck that's built with the ability to go first, even though dinosaurs like going second and chomping up boards with probably the best boss monster in the game, so keep that in mind. The main deck is pretty much your standard crap. Tyrannos, Oviraptors, Miscellaneosaurus. Actually, I think most people play 2 Tyranno, but I like 3 because it's such a stupid good boss monster. Then the assorted aborted fetuses. I like a 3 baby 2 petty ratio because either of them is one of the 3 cards that you want 2 of for a full combo. I'll explain when we get to that part. Next, you obviously gotta play the recently hired Planned Parenthood employees that are 2 copies of an Imidorn Darkosaur. These are here to kill your babies and give you drugs. Drugs that are so good they drag Big Daddy Tyranno back home from the cigarette store. After that is your one of lineup. Giant Rex, Jericaolo, and Pancratops. Rex is part of the main combo and serves as both Link and Tixie's material. Aolo is a simple synchro option as well as a miss target for when you don't want to waste an Archosaur. When they droll you, for example. And Pancratops is an obvious choice because you're playing a deck that searches the mofo. Next are my 3 sets of hand traps. I picked Effect Veiler initially because my impermanences are in Necros. But I've grown to like them because Called by the Grave is still at 1 and I can activate it while I have a board. This can be imperm though if you wish. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit can and probably should be Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I'm just too lazy to make the swap. The Psy-Frame Gear Gamma package, however, is non-negotiable for me, because it's a blanket monster negate and destruction that I don't have to discard. I'm also biased because it's won me my fair share of games in the past. Now, I did mention that this is built to go first or second, and I like to go first. So for the last of the monsters plus the first spell of the deck, I play the Dragoon package that is Dark Magician, Red Eyes Black Dragon and Red Eyes Fusion. Literally here just to summon Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. As for the rest of the spells, Fossil Dig searches your entire core deck and is mandatory, so max it out. I think the Archosaur to pill ratio should be 1:1, so accordingly I play double evolution pill. It summons Tyranno straight from deck. What more can be said? For the last 3 cards of the main deck, I decided I care less about my extra deck and more about getting to combo pieces that I don't have, and therefore play 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. The idea is you banish cards you predict you won't use out of the extra deck and instead excavate the same number of cards so you can get to that Miscellaneosaurus that's supposed to be in your hand with the Oviraptor you have. Depending on the build, you can also or instead play Extravagance, but I'd rather not banish Dragoon by accident. Plus this digs through more cards. That is it for the main deck, let's get to the extra. I firmly believe that black cards matter, so therefore I play 2 copies of Evil's Alabia and Oka. Because negates are great. What isn't great, however, is dealing with the Megaclops, so that's why Evil's War Mexiton Knight is here. Because let's face it, there are some cards that Tyranno can't just eat for dinner. Next we have cards to give Aolo purpose. Chanbara is 1, Omega is less that and more Screw, Dogmatica plus Gamma can make it by itself, and Trishula is the 2nd. 3rd Synchro, 2nd card to give Aolo purpose. Speaking of giving Dogmatica the middle finger, we play Elder Entity Ents as one of our fusion monsters. Either banish this off of Prosperity in any other matchup or send it and Omega to grave if they are dumb enough to Maximus U. The other fusion is the aforementioned Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. It makes rogue decks playable and good decks even better, bricks notwithstanding. Our first Link monster is the card that summons it. Predaplant Vert Anaconda. Pay 2000, send Red Eyes Fusion, and dodge its stupid activation requirement by summoning Dragoon after you special summoned a bunch of monsters in 1 turn. Other links we play include Link Karibo, which is a combo piece most of the time, Pintestag to help Tyranno kill your opponent faster, and 2 filler cards in Lambda and Soldier of Chaos. I say they are filler, but I specifically chose these filler cards because they have the most potential in the deck to not be filler. aside from something like Nightmare Phoenix. So if you'd rather have back row removal than a flex card you make with an almost dead Tyranno, then by all means, the side deck is whatever, as it comes down to what you have and what's common in your tournament setting. But here's what's currently in there. I'll explain the thought process behind the cards as best as I can. Dagoran is for dealing with cards that Tyranno can't, such as Megaclops. Lost World is for decks that like targeting. I sided instead of maining it because Dinosaur decks are common at the moment. Twin Twisters is because screw Mystic Mine. And screw back row in general, I'm not about that. Run Feathered Duster too if you wish. Called by the Grave is for that 1DD crow that tries to ruin your day by banishing the Miscellaneousaurus you just dropped. Dimensional Barrier I haven't been using as often, but the idea is to stop Shackles in their tracks. Anti-spell Fragrance is anti-Drytron but can be anti-anything spell heavy. And then the red reboot because screw Eldritch. Anyway, now that the deck profile itself is done, it's time to talk about that one combo I kept alluding to throughout the video. I figured this and another one out on my own. I doubt I'm the only one, but that's not the point. For this combo you need 2 out of any of these 3 cards. For best results, one of them should be Miscellaneous in case of Ash Blossom, just because you want to protect your effects. First I'll show off Oviraptor and Miss. I like starting off with Oviraptor in case of hand trap. You summon Oviraptor and search a baby, using Miss before or after the search resolves depending on scenario. Then you banish Miss to summon Archosaur. Let Archosaur abort the baby in your hand to grab you your pills. Baby will throw a fit in the graveyard and cause Petty to appear next to Archosaur. Then you destroy the Petty with Oviraptor to bring back the baby, causing Petty to throw its own tantrum and metamorphosize into a Giant Rex because biology. Don't worry if Giant Rex is in your hand. That can be a good thing because it lets you summon Pancratops instead. Anyway, now because we want fodder for drugs, we turn Archosaur into a Linkuriboh before turning it and Giant Rex into our Dragoon summoning Plant Snake. You can skip the Linkuriboh step if Tyranno is in your hand already and go straight to the Plant Snake, but I prefer not to anyway, with or without, so we'll carry on and pop our pills to banish the 2 monsters we just sent to grave and bring daddy back home, causing such a ruckus that it shakes my phone. Giant Rex will trigger after being banished, letting you summon it right afterward. Next you overlay your 2 level 4s into your preferred Evelza monster. I like Lagia, but sometimes you'll want to summon Doka instead. For our final touch we'll activate Plant Snake and get Red Eyes Fusion out of our friggin' deck, allowing us to summon our Winmore card in Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. And there you have it. A walking Solemn Judgment or Strike, 1 Omni Negate, and a Book of Eclipse plus potential Miscellaneous Search. Isn't this a fair and balanced deck? The basic idea is that once you get to this setup right here with a pill in hand, you are pretty much set. Oviraptor and Baby is almost identical to the first combo. The only difference is you don't have Miss to save your butt from a giant forehead. Once you search it with Oviraptor, however, just drop it in the graveyard and the rest is history. Pills, abortions and all. The final pair of the 3 is the most versatile because the baby can also be a Petty, since either way after you drop Miss and summon the Archosaur you'll abort it to special Oviraptor, which both babies can turn into. Once you summon Oviraptor you search the other baby and normal summon it. The rest is history. Archosaur plus either baby is also a full combo, but you have to be a little smarter about it since you'll be banishing 2 off Miss instead of just the 1. We'll use Petty just to prove it can be either. Archosaur is your normal summon for this combo. Right away you'll abort the baby to grab your pills, then you'll summon Oviraptor and grab your Miss to drop into the grave for fair and balanced protection, but do not banish it yet. First send Archosaur to the graveyard for a Linkuriboh summon. Then banish Miss and the Archosaur to summon the other baby straight from deck. Pop Baby to summon Petty and then summon Giant Rex, and the rest is history. Don't let Tyranno get buried in pills. As an aside, one of the major disadvantages of this combo is since it's all monsters it loses hard to cards like Dark Ruler No More and Forbidden Droplet. Plan accordingly if you can. Anyway, thank you for watching this deck profile and combo video. Please like, comment and subscribe and all that good stuff. Link spam because I told you to. Have a good rest of the day and also have fun burying dragons in the dirt with your prehistoric power.